Welcome to part 13 of our A to Z 45 vinyl RPM records collection here at My Media Museum. My name is Will, and I'm thrilled to have you with us today. Hopefully number 13 won't be no bad luck, and we can sail right on through this episode without any glitches or stuttering or stammering or mispronunciations. I'll do my best. And we're starting off here with David Lee Roth, California Girls. This is a picture sleeve. I wanted to show the vinyl first. I love picture sleeves. I love to see the artwork and everything, but they have not done as well on the channel as I expected them to. I don't know why. There's not as much interest. There's been a couple of comments made about various possible reasons, but bottom line, I love the picture sleeves, and you should too. I'm just kidding. I'm not telling anybody what they should or shouldn't do. All right, the B-side of this is rather interesting because this is the remixed version. You'll notice it says original version on the forthcoming EP. So this vinyl 45 came out even before the 4-song EP came out. Running 3 minutes 10 seconds for the remix version, but it was only 2 minutes 50 seconds for the original EP version. So how those very different, I couldn't tell you, but I do know that this was the only place you could get the remix version for a long time. He may or may not have put it on one of his greatest hits compilations, but here you've got another of the exact same thing with his I'm Just a Big Ego and I Ain't Got Nobody releases, where it does the exact same thing. We've got the A side running 417 from the EP Crazy from the Heat. At least it doesn't say forthcoming this time, so the EP was probably already out at the time that this 45 was released. But you'll notice at 453 we've got the remix version, Just a Gigolo and I Ain't Got Nobody, from the EP Crazy from the Heat original. So it's just kind of interesting. If you can get your hands on these 45s, you can hear some alternate versions that differ from what you heard on the EP, or possibly even on any greatest hits compilations that he's added those songs from his EP too. I know there was one not too many years back that had all 4 songs on it, so you don't have to necessarily go pick up the EP. You could get that anthology or greatest hits or whatever the heck it was called. I don't remember what it was called, but I do remember it had those. I'll bet it has the original EP versions and not those remixes, though. And here is Yankee Rose off of his first full album. Really great album. Had some awesome guitar work on it, on par with Eddie's work, sure. You betcha. It's a guitar by a different color, but Steve Vai was definitely a talented guitarist, and David Lee Roth was very fortunate to be able to scoop him up and get him to play on his first album for him. And Yankee Rose was the first song off of it that we all heard on the radio. And the B-side of this is Shy Boy, which Billy Sheenan, the bassist, he was with Mr. Big and some other bands after the fact here. But David put together quite an awesome band for that Eat 'Em and Smile album, and they did some really amazing work. Shy Boy here being another great song. Not as good as Yankee Rose, but it's a good tune. Alright, now moving on, we've got one kind of a cast off, but it's of the period, David Soul doing Don't Give Up on Us, Baby. So many actors and actresses, take a shot at recording music, and every once in a while, one of them will strike gold, and David Soul definitely did with that song there. Black Bean Soup being on the B-side of that. Now, I don't remember him ever having another big hit record. I don't really remember him doing much besides Starsky and Hutch and Salem's Lot. But I'm sure he had a lot more to his career than just those. I just don't remember him. But I don't remember him doing any more music. That's the point I was trying to make. Okay, here we've got Dawn. Notice it's not Tony Orlando and Dawn, or Dawn featuring Tony Orlando. It's just Dawn. So that tells you right there, this is an original. Knock 3 times on the ceiling if you want me. And the B-side of this is a song called Home, which I'm not familiar with. Can't sing you a few bars if I don't know it. That one actually that one probably does go back to my childhood even. That probably wasn't my original 45 collection, because that was a song that I did like, and I did watch all those shows. We watched Donnie and Marie, we watched Sonny and Cher, we watched Tony Orlando and Dawn, even watched the Mandrell sisters and some of the other ones that were so popular at the time. Definitely Carol Burnett. You can't talk about variety shows without tipping your hat to Carol Burnett. She did awesome work. I loved Carol. Still do. She's still with us. But yeah, all those old variety shows of the 70s, they were great. All right, here we've got an interesting one. It's Deep Purple. Notice it says stereo, also plays in mono. River Deep, Mountain High, from the Book of Talisman, however you want to pronounce that. I'm not sure the proper. If I had to guess, I would say Talisman, the Book of Talisman. But the B-side of this is Listen, Learn, Read On. So there you go. Tetragram Records, early Deep Purple. And then moving on, we're making it up to Def Leppard, Love Bites, off of Hysteria. And no, that's not the earliest one. I didn't put them in the proper order like I probably should have. But the B-side of that is Billy's Got a Gun, which is a live version, which makes this a special little piece of plastic to get a hold of. And it's an exclusive track, exclusive B-side. I don't believe that you ever had a chance to hear this live version of Billy's Got a Gun anywhere else, unless it's been released on a compilation, and I don't believe it has. So here is the original picture sleeve for Def Leppard's Photograph. You see this 45 all the time, but you almost never see the picture sleeve. And yes, you know who that is. Old Marilyn in the camera eye. So it's kind of an interesting picture sleeve. It's got a nice shot of the band on the back, and listing of the tracks and the band members, and various other little information you might like to know about the old Def Leppard. And here's the label itself. Let me get that off the monitor. I like it better when the center is clear. Photograph, and the B-side, Action, Not Words. Give me action, action. And we've got a few Def Leppards here to look through. The next one being Tonight, which came off of Adrenalize as well. And the B-side of that is another really cool song. Now, they did do this one on their first Best Of compilation. They added this, She's Too Tough, on there. But that's a great song. I love this song, and I do believe this was an exclusive B-side track until they added it to their Best Of compilation. And I just can't think of the name of it right off the top of my head right now. I do have it. You probably do too if you're a Def Leppard fan, because it had a few songs on there that had not been on the albums previously. All right, next up we've got Stand Up, Kick Love into Motion. And on the B-side of that one, From the Inside by the Acoustic Hippies from Hell. And just who are the Acoustic Hippies from Hell? I do believe it was Def Leppard, just using a different name. From the Inside makes me think of Alice Cooper, with his famous album. But it's got a writer's credit of Elliott, so Joe Elliott wrote it. It's not a remake of Alice Cooper. All right, so that wraps up our Def Leppards for us there. And this is kind of another interesting sleeve. It's got a lot to see and look at, although none of it seems to really be my kind of music. The B-side also has a lot of different artists to be seen on it as well. And yeah, none of this is my kind of stuff. But the vinyl we find in it is Del Shannon doing She's a Little Runaway. Now that was kind of more along the Bon Jovi version there that I sung, but Runaway is a very well-known old classic rock and roll song. I'm sure you could probably sing it better than me. And a B-side being a song called Jody. So, but that's a pretty cool label. I like the big top logo there with the big top tent in the background there. Kind of cool. Alright, now here's one. Again, we've got another one of these sleeves. Got a lot of artists that I'm either not into or don't know, like Lawrence Welk. Oh, I did not like the Lawrence Welk show. Never got into Lawrence Welk, but it was something my grandmother absolutely insisted on watching. And once Dad left the coop for good, she kind of took over control of the TV, and I decided to spend the bulk of my time in my room. But anyways, Lawrence Welk was not one of my favorites. I'd watch Hee Haw, I'd watch the Mandrell Sisters, I'd watch a lot of stuff that, I wasn't necessarily into because I didn't care for country music. But Hee Haw had a lot of fine babes and a lot of funny jokes, so I didn't mind watching Hee Haw or some of the other shows. But no, you could keep your Lawrence Welk. But anyways, this one, the Dell Vikings and Come Go With Me, I didn't recognize it. The guy at the flea market told me, oh yes, you're going to know this song. You need this song in your collection. Come and go with me, come on baby, come and go with me. It's an old 50s song, and the minute I put it on and played it, I was like, he's right. I do know this song, and it is a classic song, and it's a good one to have in any vinyl collection. The B-side being How Can I Find True Love, which isn't one that I know as well. So, I think we made it through 13 without me stumbling along too much. So, come on back for part 14. We'll see you then.